It is time for your daily dose of your vitamins and your nutrients. Today we'll be discussing Mesa. And I know that Mesa could have been the next frame to be prime. Well, it's soon to be next, because I don't want to end up saying, oh hey, she's the next one to be primed. But if Mesa Prime was a thing, goodness sake, I cannot imagine how good she'll be looking, especially in prime. But Mesa is one of the damage dealing frames that you can do, especially where she can be built for survivability, and survivability is key, especially if you're playing in stories. That rhymes. See what I did there? Mesa is one of the most damage dealing frames to use on here. She does pack a punch as a female fatale, as well as she can stop enemies in her sight. But taking damage is another thing. So is there a way to reduce the damage taken from Mesa? Of course there is. Why would it not be? I mean, Mesa can take a hit. Well, if she buffs herself to take a hit. But in longer runs, I don't suggest it go long run end game less than like high 300 level 300 enemies. Not recommended. But at least story level, that's fine. But if you looking for the girlfriend of your dreams, or someone that actually holds you, I really cannot say holds you or cover you, then this cowgirl must be for you instead. Mesa is obtainable from the Mulus IFV assassination. In other words, that disgusting little idiot is really hard to kill, but you gotta actually kill him anyway in order to get Mesa's helmet, systems, and chassis. If you're asking me how to get the blueprint, you're able to get the blueprint with credits in the market. Unless you were that person that want to buy Mesa with platinum, her whole build set in platinum with a slot already built in, I really cannot see why you have to do it. I mean, why would you want to? I would prefer building her instead of buying her. See what I did there? Okay, her stats may not be appealing, but don't let it deceive you. If you're new, don't let this deceive you. Trust me, when you buff her, you will end up being amazed at how well you can deal with Mesa. How well you can deal damage or be protected with Mesa. So, before you even get to her abilities, and for my voice to stop cracking up, there's something I have to discuss. And it's that first thing. But first off, I hope you guys know what that first thing was to say. Since before Warframe evolved, abilities started to rise up and was press 4 to win. What was that one thing that was new and that we didn't have before in Warframe? Passives. So in other words, her passives marksman dexterity. This will increase your fire rate from dual wield sidearms from 10 to 10%. This will give you better reload speed on one hand sidearms, as well as getting a health boost, a 50 health boost when you have no melee weapon equipped, which meaning it's not percent, it's not numeric form, it's just a plus 50 for the health boost. But are you really gonna stop using your melee or deselect your melee in your loadout to actually get that health boost for just 50? I really wonder who said yes. Okay, ballistic battery. This one is something that will deal damage to enemies and stops all your problems, sort of. Activate this and you'll be able to store damage, especially when you're dealing damage to the enemy already. Activate it, deactivate this, or activate it again, and you will release the damage at an increased percentage. That means the damage that you just stored on this ability, the damage that you just stored on this ability will be the damage that you will apply on your next enemy. This affects Peacemaker, and it really does. It's insane. But it's also good for stopping problems like heavier units, including bombards and heavy gunners. So keep that in mind. Ballistic Bullseye is the augment that gives you 100% stash chance for this ability, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Shooting Gallery is the ability that I'll be focusing in this build as well too. This one will jam the guns for nearby enemies, but it gives a bonus damage to allies while this thing shifts between teammate to teammate. This is good to stop problematic enemies besides nullifiers, but at least you want to deal with a bombard firing that rocket at you, and as soon as you see the range on this ability, you'll be glad to have this anyway. This is good at what you'll be using. Muzzle Flash is the augment that blinds enemies while switching, so keep this in mind if you want to use that augment, whether you like it or not. Shatter Shield. This reduces incoming damage and gives you a dash reduction on yourself for 95%, and this is only at max. That means no matter how many strength mods you put in, it will be 95% damage reduction that you'll be taking from enemies, and these bullets reflect back to the enemy. This is good for survivability as well too, and the radial blast will not be reflected, but don't worry, don't let that deceive you, because this is just the thing that you also need for one of my builds in here. Staggering Shield is the thing that I'm using now, which allows you to get a 50% chance to stagger enemies. If you're familiar with Life of Real's quick thinking stagger death video, then watch when you have this on enemies, and they'll be experiencing stagger death. And last but certainly not least, Peacemaker. Take note, is that this ability doesn't just take mods from your Warframe itself, but it takes mods from your secondary, which affects your regular pistols when you summon them out. Also, key point is that growing power will not affect this at all. I tried it, surprisingly, does not work. I was pissed. Pistols comes out in rapid succession, and that focus ring will indicate your fire. Indicate your fire on enemies in line of sight. It is a random line of sight, but once they're nearby, you'll be able to take fire like aimbot and kill one of them or as many as you can at that range. Once that focus ring decreases from 50 to 15 meters, that means you'll have like a tiny ring that will target like a certain amount of enemies, especially not the whole screen, but like the small screen to your crosshairs, to kill at the area. Although the range is still good, it's just the whole screen won't be that big. A small ring will just only take the amount of enemies that she can kill in that line of sight ring. Keep that in mind. This is her true power, and this is why she's called Mesa, aka Peacemaker's aimbot. Back then, if you remember what Peacemaker did, if you guys remember, press 4 to win. This thing, you did not have to aim. You did not have to aim or move or do anything. All you gotta do is just press 4 and press to shoot. That's it. Goodness sake, have you guys remember that? I know I'm talking this too long, but goodness sake, that was so much. Now, this is what Mesa can do. Mesa's stats are affected, especially anyway, but this is why I usually use Shooting Gallery, and Shatter Shield. So in other words, you probably know what time it is, and this is why I am here, and I am here for that absolute reason. And it's up to you if you want to use Shatter Shield augment or the Shooting Gallery augment, because that's for survivability if you want to actually go for this route. So without any further ado, it's time for a daily dose of your mods for you to use. This is a 3 Forma build, and this build could be up to you if you decide whether or not you like it or want to use it. And what I have here is basically growing power. That's the only or mod in there, but you got prime funk, prime continuity, streamline, intensify, all another strength as in intensify, and leadership, especially vitality in there, and something else in there as well too. This is for the Peacemaker build, and you have to actually use it like this, or you use it another way as well too, depending on your preference. Of course, this is up to you. If you, this is my template that you can use, and you can modify it however you want to, basically on personal preference. That's entirely up to you. Now, my second build is the Staggering Shield or the Shatter Shield survivability build, something like that, where it uses Shooting Gallery and Shatter Shield. You can use Peacemaker a little bit, but it's up to you if you want to use it. And I am not using Prime Flow, but if I'm not looking at my screen, I'm using Translate 4-2, Growing Power, Prime Continuity, Link Constitution, Clean Expertise for Streamline, some other mods in there as well too, just to give you some power. And also Overextend It and Cutting Drift. You can switch Cutting Drift out for another mod, probably like Enemy Sense or Coaction Drift or something else like that. Alright, so let's go on to the purpose of those two builds. The first build is so dang obvious. It's for you to use Peacemaker. It's for Peacemaker, and you can also use Shooting Gallery, because Shooting Gallery can also support teammates and give them like a damage buff, something like that. But as soon as the enemies are near their range, the Shooting Gallery will take effect and they'll jam their guns. It'll jam their guns and no problem, no hassle, right? Yeah, I appreciate this more because I usually sometimes like to use Peacemaker, especially if I have to come out and into Peacemaker as usual. That's fine, I get it. And remember, it takes mods, not just from Warframe, it takes mods from also your secondary. The second build is the shield build, which is basically purpose and survivability. Of course, nothing goes perfect, that's why I included this build instead. This can actually give you a range increase, a range coverage for shooting gallery, shooting gallery for 40 meters. If you're on place of Island, this may not be that much, but at least it's something for you to be protected in. But in a survival run and you like to jam guns, goodness sake, this is good for you, and you can actually help yourself to use them as a shooting gallery instead. Of course, for enemy units that like to have melee weapons, goodness sake, you can't avoid that. They'll come after you no matter what. So be warned and be ready to actually take them out instead. And you can also use Peacemaker if you wanted to in that build. So you probably want a demonstration on how to use this build. Okay, so Peacemaker, basically that simple. The first build is obviously simple, just use Peacemaker. You can also use Shooting Gallery, but be mindful energy wise, because you gotta keep that going. The second build, I should let you guys know that you need Sonoric, Energize, and Dash instead, because this build is this does not include Prime Flow, but it can be energy hungry, so keep that in mind. What you need to use is basically your 2 or your 3. When I mean your 2 or your 3, your 2 is just for to release your Shooting Gallery, and it's a must if you have to, because if the levels are higher, that's what you need to use. Shooting Gallery will jam their guns, and stop them from firing, but it does not stop butchers exactly. However, in mid game or low level, you don't have to use it, but you can just go on your go on your 3 and then your 2, because why not? Your 2 is your Shooting Gallery and your 3 is your protective shield, that you have for damage reduction. Is that good? I did test runs on this. It is pretty good. If you're not using it, then you're not gonna have that good damage reduction, especially if you're not even using armor neither. You can replace one of the mods for armor, you can replace one of your mods for range, or Prime Flow if you want to, if you don't have the augment. Also keep in mind, all of Mesa's augments are available from Sephiroth Suda if you want to purchase them for 25,000 standing, especially where you have to be the right rank to get them on as well too. So keep that in mind. So is Mesa is that a good idea to use on Mesa? I like that idea. Her sight makes her like a tank, but not a legit tank. It betters your eyes and survivability if you want to go in story level or a little bit over, but not too over. Just saying. This is an interesting build. This is actually useful, especially for problematic units like the Bombard, but it does not stop units like the Moa. I think Moa, it does not stop the Moa, or actual, what was the other one? The Bursas. Because those are annoying as hell if you understand my drift. But overall, but at the same time, you can't deny Mesa's abilities and how Mesa looks in her new Devil Ranger skin. This is why she's one of the female fatales that looks good, especially in this skin, and makes her so that she is a shooting gallery. A staggering gallery of work. Stagger shield, stagger gallery. Can I pronounce gallery for once? But anyway, guys, let's go and wrap up the video because you probably did not understand what I was saying. One thing for sure, Mesa's 2 and 3 is good. You need Sonuric. I can think of any other arcanes in here. Arcane Guardian would be 1 because Arcane Guardian gives you extra armor. I can probably replace you with staggering shield with maybe Muzzle Flash, or I think extra health from Gladiator. Maybe not, but like I said, the builds are template and it's up to you if you want to use it. However, if you want to go with just the whole build and nothing else, then that is good for you to use. Arcane Guardian is an optional. Maybe Arcane Grace because Vitality is a thing. But I really have that's all I can say for this build. It's good, it's interesting, and unless you want to go Peacemaker, you have to time your Peacemaker because you don't want to drain your energy within one go. My name is Travis or Shay, and let's wrap up the video. If you enjoy your stay, don't forget to leave a like and make sure to subscribe. I'm Travis or Shay. Hope you did enjoy the video today. Let's go for operators. I will see you later.